Hi, welcome to today's edition. My name is Peter Masharia of Kingvale Insurance Agencies. Last week we had touched a bit on medical insurance, and today I'm with my client and good friend, Mildred, who happens to be a lawyer, and we're going to be discussing more about medical insurance. Mildred, karibu.
Thank you, Peter. You've been a friend for a long time, and let me first introduce myself. Then I'll need to know more about medical insurance. My name is Mildred Gakoi. I've been a lawyer now for 20 years, basically in the field of conveyancing, but we do everything legal and nothing illegal. Yes. Peter, just basically make us understand what is the importance of medical insurance, and first, what is medical insurance?
Thanks, Mildred, and welcome to today's show.
Thank you.
So, in a nutshell, medical insurance is an insurance that covers medical bills. That's it. So, it could be inpatient or outpatient.
Okay.
So, that is medical insurance. It covers both inpatient and outpatient, and it is an annual cover. So, you pay premium for it on an annual basis, and then you get a certain limit of cover, and it covers you for 1 year. So
for 1 year.
Yeah, so it's what in insurance we call it's a renewable policy. It's a short-term policy.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you have it for 2 years, possibly?
No. Okay, what normally happens for individuals, it's a 1 year contract, but for companies, you can decide to have a 3 year contract with an insurer, but it's renewable yearly. So every year you pay a premium on a yearly basis, because sometimes with medical insurance, it's one of those insurances that are very fluid, because within 1 year things can change in terms of medical costs, in terms of claims by the members. So it needs to be looked at every year, before it is renewed.
Okay.
Yes.
So, do you recommend that it's a must-have kind of cover for every? Is it working class person, or what do you think? What do you know?
It is one of the most important insurances that you can have, because what happens? You've heard of cases where people have had to sell their pieces of land, their houses, because of a medical bill. Medical insurance will not pay the full bill, but at least it will financially cover you. So it will work hand in hand with maybe your savings or something else. But it is very important to have it.
It is very important.
Yes. And one thing people don't know is that you can actually have 2 different covers.
Just how? Explain, please.
You can have 2 companies insuring you.
Okay.
So what normally happens is if one cover runs out, and you have 2. So assuming I'm hospitalized, and my bill is 1 million, but I have one cover which takes care of the bill up to 500,000, and the other one can do 500,000.
Oh.
Yeah. So in insurance, these policies work together.
Okay.
Yeah, so they will not pay the same bill, but they will supplement each other.
They'll supplement each other.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Peter, I've understood. Now tell me, do you have different kinds of packages? I'm assuming I have just started working. Can you cover me to the extent of a salary that is not really, say, I'm earning a salary of say 50,000.
Yes.
Do you have packages for such salaries?
Yes.
Salaries of up to 1 million? How do you cushion the people with smaller salaries?
That's a very good question. And when people hear of medical insurance, they imagine it's a very expensive thing to have.
Been there.
What happens is, for as low as 5,000 per year, you can get a medical insurance that will cover you up to a certain amount. It will not cover you that much, but at least it will cover you up to a certain extent.
Okay.
So for those who are getting straight into employment, there is a cover for you. There's actually a cover for everyone.
Okay.
So there are those who can afford 5,000 per year, and there are those who can afford $1 million per year in terms of medical insurance premium.
Premium. Okay.
Yes, because these covers range from local,
Yeah.
where you now have the local companies doing insurance.
Yeah.
Then you have international insurance companies as well. So you can
Okay.
have an international medical insurance. This normally applies to expatriates or people who travel a lot, who do a lot of business internationally,
Yeah.
and you will not want to be exposed, especially in Europe or the US, where medical is extremely expensive. Yes, so for those people, we usually recommend an international provider. Yes, so the premiums are high, but also the coverage is very high as well.
And I can come to you for all the services?
Yes, we do all that.
You do all that.
Local and international medical insurance.
Okay, tell me, the first time you gave me my first cover,
yes,
I recall you gave me a very thick document.
Yes.
And I didn't read all the pages, truth be told. I remember I signed.
Yes.
But I later came back to you and asked you, why so many pages? Do most of your clients read these pages and understand the intricacies that each page bears?
That is the one big challenge we have, us as insurance people. Yes. Because we find a lot of the insurance has a lot of, they are very wordy documents. And unfortunately, the print used to be so small that you open the document, you even put off. In the first one page, you read it and you might doze. So a lot of people don't actually read that document. Yes, and there are a lot of important information in there that people only come to discover when a claim is about to happen or a claim is happening. And for me, probably I can outline 3 or 4 areas which are very critical. The first one is the waiting period. So when you sign up for medical insurance, there's a waiting period. There are waiting periods that apply. So most people assume when I sign on that document and make the payment, I'm covered immediately. It does not apply that way. Or it does for accident admission. But if it is illness, there is a waiting period. Most insurers give you between 30 and 90 days. Meaning that if I join an insurance company today and I fall sick after 2 weeks, my insurance will not cover me. There is a waiting period for that. This is basically just to safeguard the insurance companies against people who want to take advantage. You know that maybe in the next 1 month you need to be admitted for a certain procedure, so you take the cover now. So that is one. In case of illness admission, there's also a waiting period for maternity. So for those who take up insurance,
I was caught up there.
because of maternity,
that
that applies to them. Usually there's a waiting period of 1 year, between 10 months and 1 year. Yes, that's for the individual policies.
Okay.
But for corporate, those ones don't have a waiting period.
Oh, corporate don't have?
Yeah, so if it's a group of maybe 10 and above, and they have a maternity package, the benefit starts immediately.
Okay, I'm trying to imagine if I want to be covered immediately.
Yes.
Is there anything like an excess or an extra payment that one can do so that I know I'm covered right from, ab initio?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have that kind of facility?
For individuals, no. But
No.
for the SME segment, which is where you fall, we can give you a solution for that.
Okay.
Yeah. So as long as you're 3 members and above, we can give you a solution that has no waiting period. For maternity, for illness admission, once you make the payment and your cover is updated, you can get admitted.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, currently we are going through what you call the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yes.
And you realize that the covers that we have, you're suddenly told they don't cover for a pandemic, or they don't cover for, say, something as serious as cancer. Yet when you signed, you believe that you signed for any illness or any situation that may arise.
Yes.
Why does that happen?
Okay, people don't realize that when they're taking up medical insurance, you take up a cover of say 10 million. So at the back of your mind, you know, if I get cancer, I'll be covered up to 10 million.
Oh, yeah.
But that is not what happens, unfortunately. There are things in insurance that are called sub-limits. Sub-limits.
See, unatupata hapo sasa.
So what happens is within your cover, actually that big document that
we're able to read. It's just
so
jargon.
It had those things. So what normally happens is within the 10 million, there are sub-limits for certain things. And like cancer, depending on at what point you join the insurance company, if say you had it before you joined, that's called a pre-existing condition. And insurances have a sub-limit for pre-existing condition. So you'll find maybe your cover is 10 million, but for pre-existing conditions, it's 1 million. Yes. And then there is also one for chronic conditions. So assuming I've been insured for 5 years, then on the 5th year, I'm diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
So what will happen, the first year it will be termed as newly diagnosed condition, newly diagnosed chronic condition, and it will fall under a sub-limit. Then at renewal, it will now be considered as a chronic condition, because now it's something you'll have for life. That's the term chronic.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a sub-limit for that.
For that.
Yes.
And once they discover that, I think the premium also changes?
Yes, but normally it's based on the claims. So for example, if your claims are very high, they'll definitely load the premium. Insurance pia wako kwa biashara. Unajua
this medical
biashara
ni ngumu. Another thing, Peter.
Yes.
I remember when we were sending up the forms.
Yes.
One thing you kept asking is dental issues in the family, eye issues in the family.
Yes.
Which other category did you mention? Then I told you, but all this will be taken care of by the same cover. But maybe you can explain why you say dental and I have got something different, or you have to pay a little bit more premium for those areas to be catered for.
Yes, okay. Insurance, normally there is the basic component which just caters for inpatient admission, and then outpatient where ukipata kahoma that is not COVID, you go, you see the doctor, unapata madawa, you get the tests. But now if you want to improve it, make it a bit better, there are added costs now for dental, where you pay a certain premium, or optical, and even maternity. So those are additional covers to the basic. So those usually are paid for something extra.
They're much more expensive than so much more expensive.
Because you know what happens with insurance, which a lot of people don't seem to realize, is that there is a risk and there is no risk. So insurance ideally is supposed to cover a risk, something that might or might not happen. But you see, for example, somebody like me who has nikona cavities kama tatu, when I take dental, definitely I'll use it. So that is not really insurance. So what has happened is outpatient, especially, the claims are so high that the premiums therefore also have to be the same, because the chances of using it are extremely high. Yes. Then there's something else you had mentioned. So there was dental, optical, maternity.
Yes.
So maternity, even if you add it, there's still a waiting period, as I had mentioned earlier. Yes.
If I may just interrupt, it's unfortunate that you're still cut off, you're still cut off because of that waiting period.
Yes.
Conceiving is not something you foresee.
but uko na 9 months kujipanga, so
so you more often than not find most mothers don't actually make use of the of the covers that they had actually taken up.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and the sad thing is that there are no refunds.
Unfortunately,
Imeenda hivyo,
no, hiyo imeenda hivyo.
Okay.
I think maybe we are being encouraged kujipanga. So unajipanga before you conceive, ukuwe uko nayo. So
Hiyo ni ngumu. Peter, tell me another thing. We have basically inpatient and outpatient.
Yes.
The first cover I took up with you was both inpatient and outpatient.
Yes.
But subsequently over the years, you notice that we have dropped the outpatient.
Yes.
Because out of the amount of money that we have spent, say 100, 150,
Yes.
you find that in a year you've only spent, say, at most 20,000.
Yes.
Occasionally, it can go up to 50. So, as a family, we decided, Peter, we're not going to continue with outpatient. And
Yes.
you have subsequently gone on to do inpatient for us.
Yes.
Am I so exposed by doing what it is that I've chosen to do?
Not necessarily, because you see, outpatient is something that it's a benefit that you use when you're not feeling well and you go see the doctor.
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing is the premiums are so expensive, and when your children are grown, the cases of them falling ill are not that many. So it doesn't really make sense to take up outpatient. There are quite a number of my clients who have done that, because based on how much you spend per year, 100,000 or 150,
Yeah.
that is money you can save somewhere. And when the need arises, you just go to an outpatient facility, make the payment. It will cost you maybe 10,000,
Yeah.
but it's a one-off thing. Yeah. The only challenge would be in cases where now you need further treatment, like you need to see a specialist over a period of time.
Yeah.
Then that is when now it becomes a bit more expensive.
Okay.
Yes. Mildred, you had
Yes.
asked about the budget medical insurance for somebody who's just starting off.
Yeah.
So I had mentioned about the premium, but also what you need to understand is the lower the premium, the lower the coverage.
Oops.
What basically that means is the hospitals that you can access, there are different categories of hospitals.
Yeah.
So for this particular budget plans,
Yeah.
you can access the lower levels of hospitals. Yeah.
Isn't it rather unfortunate?
No, you see, it's like it's just having a market for everyone, because you don't want to exclude certain people from taking up medical insurance.
Okay.
Yes. So like now these budget plans, you find you're paying very little for them. Okay, it's not very little for that person, but it's significantly lower. But even the hospitals that you can access, it's not the Nairobi hospitals and
The cream de la cream. CISO.
yes, CISO.
CISO.
Because something else also, the limit of cover is very low. So imagine your annual umeenda Nairobi hospital na cover yako is 500,000. You see, within 3 days, that limit is your cover
That's
is exhausted.
Yeah.
Yes, so they're encouraged to go to much less expensive hospitals. Yes.
Then tell me, midway through my cover, can I do a top up? Assume things are better now. Can I improve on my cover midway?
No, it has to be at the end of the year.
Okay. So what can I do then? Things have become better for me. Pesa zimeingia. Like a windfall. Yeah.
What we can do is we can give you another cover.
Okay, another cover.
Another cover. And then at the point of the one you had before expiring, you can decide whether you want to maintain it or do away with it, so that we have the much higher cover running.
Okay.
Yes.
Now is it 2007 when we had the PEV?
Yes.
A scenario like that, maybe you can is that included in covers war, terrorism, outbreaks?
Yes.
Such scenarios. If I have my cover, can that be covered?
Unfortunately, that is considered, it's similar to a pandemic. So what normally happens is the insurance companies, they don't cover war, terrorism, other things that are in normal policies, like claims related to suicide or drug abuse. those will not be covered.
Those will not be covered.
Yes, yes. Or dangerous sports like bungee jumping. Those are some of the things that
are just not included.
Normally not covered.
I've just thought of this.
Yes.
I'm admitted in hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I was admitted in hospital yesterday.
Yes.
My cover runs out today.
Yes.
And I'm still going to be admitted for another 10 days.
Yes.
Disconnect here. Can I pay up when it continues running, or
yes,
what happens?
Yes.
It continues running.
Because it will be considered as part of your previous year's claim. So they cannot really deny, as long as you renew it.
Yeah.
The insurance companies will give you a leeway to pay for it. But as long as they have committed to cover you, even if it runs out today midnight, we'll just ensure that it is renewed so that you're taken care of.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe I can ask one more question.
Mm-hmm.
Does the bed or the ward that I want to go to be admitted into really matter?
Yes, it does a lot.
It does.
Yes, because now imagine you're on a budget cover. You're paid 10,000 per year for your 1 million limit.
Yeah.
And then you want to go to Princess Zara, which charges maybe, I don't know, it's 30,000 per day. But there are certain covers that take care of it. So like pesa ikiingia, if you take up a cover that is of maybe 20 million in terms of limit, and it will also cost you that much more, but you'll have access to those high-end facilities. So it will be either a private room or not even a private room. It's an executive room now.
Okay.
Yes. Wow. So it will cost you that much more, but you'll have access to what you want.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. I've learned so much.
Asante sana. Thanks for your questions, and I'm also happy that I've ironed out some of these questions, because the problem with medical insurance, challenges come at the point of claiming. When somebody is going to be admitted, that's when they are told, hii limit yako, you only covered up to 100,000 or 200,000. Yet you thought your limit was 10 million. We have a lot of those cases. So as Kingville, we try as much as possible to educate our customers so that we don't have that push and pull. Yes.
Peter, thank you very much.
Asante sana.
Yes.
It was good talking to you.
It was good talking to you.
So viewers, thanks for joining us today. We were talking to Mildred Gakoi of Gakoi Maina and Company Advocates about medical insurance. Next week, we'll be talking about your domestic, that is your house insurance. See you then.
Thank you very much, Peter. Thank you.